Right after the Parkland shooting, our chapter was inundated with inquiries, same as Mom's chapters all across the country, absolutely inundated. And in the week or two after Parkland, we had so many requests for meetings that we started doing almost daily meetings, new member meetups and informational meetings to teach people what we were about and what we were doing and try to feed their need for doing something. And at one of those I met our next speaker. Her name is Tara, and she is going to share her story with you.
Thank you. My name is Tara. I live in Rhode Island, and I want to share my personal experience that I feel directly supports the red flag bill. In 1998, I was 20 years old. I had a close friend who was a brilliant student. He was so brilliant, in fact, that he skipped his senior year of high school and went to college in Scotland to study genetic engineering. Something happened to his psyche while he was abroad, and he flipped. Through all of this, I was trying to continue my studies in engineering here at URI. During this time that I was studying, I was terrified that he would find out where I was and carry out his threats. I continually warned other people in my department not to disclose my whereabouts. I told classmates and professors that someone might come looking for me. I implored them not to disclose who my friends were, for fear of him finding me. I knew he wasn't in his right mind. This wasn't him. I made numerous phone calls to every helpline that I could find. I notified his parents. My parents notified his parents. He was trying to hunt me down to find my current boyfriend. I lived in constant fear and frustration that I couldn't help him or stop him. As I continued with my studies, I hid inside classrooms so I wasn't visible in front of doors. I didn't want to endanger other people's lives in the rooms where I needed to be to study. I had done everything I could within the current laws, and his parents had also tried everything that they could. He drove from Rhode Island to Maryland and purchased a rifle there. Somehow he found out where I was living and went to the house that I was renting. My roommate was home at the time. Thankfully, she had previously been contacted by the police and warned that he was armed and dangerous and not to open the door for him. She was home on his first attempt to locate me at the house. She called the police, informing them that he was there, and then he left. I didn't know about this first attempt until 20 years later. His father found him in Narragansett and tried to get him to listen to reason. My friend took off in his car, and his father jumped on the car and tried to stop him from hurting himself. With the windows rolled up, my friend drove around recklessly throughout Narragansett with his father clinging to the outside of the car. My friend was steering the car wildly, trying to shake his father off the car while his father pleaded with him to stop. As his father was banging on the windows, trying to break them or have his son roll them down to talk to him, my friend took the rifle and shot himself in front of his loving father. More than 20 years have passed, and I continue to be haunted by this tragedy, and will be forever. More should have been done, as several red flags had preceded this tragedy. His parents initially contacted the police in their hometown, who stated they would broadcast to all of the local police departments within the state police and URI's campus officers. There was ample notice given to law enforcement throughout the state, as well as university campus security. The police and campus security had assured his parents that if they found him, he would be detained, and the police said his keys would be taken from him in order to get an opportunity to pick him up and take him to treatment. Local police also said they would speak with the campus security directly, and they said they would tell him they would detain him if he was located. The two university officers' testimonies said that they would conduct a well-being check if he was found, and one of the two officers' testimonies reflected that they would try to detain him until his father got there. We later found out that the campus security had actually stopped and questioned him. The campus saw his vehicle and stopped him on Route 138 in the vicinity of URI and directly told him that they were doing a welfare check and to please get in contact with his parents. It was about a 5-minute conversation. One officer said that nothing in his demeanor concerned the officer or indicated danger to himself. The officer said she had not been told to detain him. This was only 37 hours after his parents were so concerned that they had contacted authorities. In addition, there were also affidavits from 2 professionals who said that although he may have appeared stable to the security, a fact which was presently disputed, potentially suicidal individuals have the ability to mask their intent and unstable emotions for a short period of time. One of the reasons I'm telling you this is to implore you to work with psychologists in the future as to what is a reasonable amount of time to detain a suicidal individual and investigate the situation, given that they are able to mask their emotions for a short period of time as evidenced here. Today, you have a policy in front of you that can make an immediate difference to provide law enforcement, families, and those in crisis with additional protection. Red flags abounded for my friend. He should have been prevented from accessing a gun. The affidavits from professionals also stated that his risk of committing suicide, if he was not detained and provided treatment, was reasonably foreseeable to a reasonable degree of medical certainty. At the time, Rhode Island General Law 40.1-5.7 could have been enforced, and he could have been detained because he was in danger of causing serious harm to himself, but it was not done. Layers of protection, I repeat, layers of protection are necessary, as one single layer is bound to fall apart at some point. I implore you to support a strong red flag bill to help prevent this from happening to others here in Rhode Island. No one should have to ever go through what I did, what his family did, what my family did, and what our community did. Thank you.
Tara, thank you so much for being brave.